The megacity of Europrime never slept. Neon holograms blazed through the perpetual smog, promising pleasure, status, or salvation. On any given street, you could find someone selling a synthetic limb, a black market AI, or a memory override. But none of it made Kael stop. He walked with his head low, eyes scanning, never stopping. That was until he saw her. Tied to a rusted billboard frame just outside the Eastern Hovertrain station was a girl. Not a hologram. Not a display mannequin. A girl. Real. Her arms were bound above her head with thick industrial straps. Someone had smeared "on sale" across her bare midsection in bright yellow paint that pulsed under UV streetlight like a cruel advertisement. Her skin was marred with bruises, and dried blood crusted along her temple. She wasn't from Earth, that was clear. Pale cyan skin shimmered faintly under the grime, and a pair of semi-translucent fins drooped from the sides of her head like wilted leaves. People passed by in droves. No one looked. No one paused. The billboard had been there for weeks, rotating products and propaganda like every other facade in the city. Except this time it had a living being bound to it. Kael stopped. A few passers-by bumped into him, muttering curses as they continued, but he didn't move. The girl's eyes fluttered weakly open. One was swollen shut, but the other glowed faintly with terrified confusion. She wasn't a display. She wasn't a prop. She was alive. And nobody gave a damn. Middle. Kael returned at nightfall. The alley streets were quieter, though danger never slept in Europrime. He moved through shadows until he reached the billboard. The girl was unconscious again, her head lolled forward, chin resting against her chest. Her breathing was shallow. He pulled out a monoblade and sliced through the straps carefully. Her body slumped forward, and he caught her with a grunt. She was lighter than he expected, barely over 90 pounds and cold as metal. "Easy," he murmured, lifting her into his arms. "I got you." Kael didn't go home. He couldn't. He lived in a bunker under Sector 7, surrounded by half-broken machines, scavenged junk, and a past that refused to die. Instead, he brought her to an old medtech safe house abandoned after the corporation war 10 years prior. His code still worked on the door. The med bed flickered to life. Scanners buzzed. He laid her down gently and connected the biometric cables. Species identified: Xerathi. Female. Age approximate: 19 Earth years. Neural trauma. Muscular atrophy. Mild internal bleeding. Foreign biochip detected. Kael stared at the final line. Biochip. She was tagged. He leaned in, following the scanner trail to the base of her neck. A small, circular implant blinked faintly just beneath the skin, like a brand. He tapped into the medtable's feed. The biochip signal was encrypted but old. Traceable. The name attached to the registry froze his breath. Rothkane Syndicate. A criminal empire notorious for trafficking rare xenos. He exhaled through his nose. "You poor thing." She woke up 2 days later. Flinched, screamed, tried to fight. Kael stepped back and held up both hands. "It's okay. You're safe. You're not for sale." Her one good eye darted around the dim room. Her voice came raspy and halting. "Where?" "Underground. You were tied up on a billboard. I cut you loose." Her shoulders trembled. "Thought I'd died." "Nope," Kael said softly. "Still alive. I'm Kael." She didn't answer. After several seconds she whispered, "They called me Merch 17. But my name is Seren." He nodded slowly. "Nice to meet you, Seren." It took weeks before she stopped flinching every time Kael entered the room. He brought her clothes, protein supplements, and carefully filtered memories of the outside world, though none of them good. Seren remembered little before her capture. Lap. Bright escape. Running. Then pain. The Syndicate had stolen her from her colony vessel orbiting a remote moon. Zirathi females were rare and considered collectibles. She was young, biologically engineered to be empathic, and now in Europrime completely disposable. "They tried to sell me before," she whispered one night, sitting cross-legged on the medbed. "But I was too quiet, too scared. They said I was defective, so they put me on display." Kael gritted his teeth. "You're not defective. I cried every night, begged anyone to see me, but no one looked." He reached out slowly until his hand rested gently over hers. "I did." The turning point. The biochip pinged. They'd found her. The Syndicate sent a drone. And two. Then Kael saw a bounty notice posted on the darknet forums. "Runaway asset. Zirathi female. Last seen with human male. Reward. 50,000 creds, dead or alive." He had to act. "We have to move," Kael said, packing crates with supplies. "They're coming." "I can't run again," Seren said, trembling. Kael paused. "Then we fight. You can't win against them." "No. But I can hurt them. And I can free you." She blinked, a glimmer of defiance igniting. "You'd fight a crime syndicate for me? I've done worse for people who meant less." They didn't run far. Instead, Kael set up a trap. The old industrial yard near the edge of the Undercity, abandoned, silent, and ripe for ambush. He used his old militia contacts to jam tracking signals, rigged EMP grenades along the sewer entrances, and rewired the surveillance cams to loop fake footage. Seren, though terrified, stood beside him. Not behind him. Beside. She had a gift. The Zirathi empathy wasn't just emotional, it was psionic. She could sense intentions, anticipate moves, even nudge thoughts in brief flashes. "They're close," she whispered. 5. Armed. Kael nodded and powered up the auto turrets. The battle was brutal. Short but effective. The first wave didn't stand a chance. His EMPs disabled their gear, and Seren knocked one unconscious with a psychic burst that left Kael stunned. The second wave, more cautious, tried to flank. Kael took a plasma shot to the arm but managed to trigger the trapdoor, sending 2 bounty hunters into a rebar-filled pit. When it was over, Seren stood in the haze of smoke and burning metal, trembling but alive. "You're amazing," Kael said, cradling his bleeding arm. "You believed in me first," she whispered, helping him sit. Ending. They didn't stay in Europrime. Kael used the bounty hunter ship, now deregistered and wiped, to escape orbit. They flew under a false transponder for 3 months, hopping between fringe systems, until they reached Thalassa 6, a world known for harboring political dissidents and offering sanctuary to those fleeing the inner systems. Seren joined a new colony there, one with others like her, refugees of Syndicate greed. She worked in their mental healing clinics, using her psionic empathy to help victims of war and trafficking reclaim themselves. Kael stayed with her for a time, helped build, protect, mend. But after a year, he prepared to leave. "You don't have to go," Seren said one night, standing with him beneath the twin moons. "You saved me." He looked at her, expression unreadable. "No, you saved yourself. I just happened to see what others ignored." She stepped forward, then leaned in and gently rested her forehead against his. "That was everything." He closed his eyes, savoring the quiet. "If you ever need me again, just look toward the stars." She smiled softly. "I'll know which one is you."